Now, the need for help in the affected areas is great. Officials expect recovery, though, to take months. News Channel 5's Ro Norman continues our Team 5 coverage. She has more on what the local chapter of the American Red Cross is doing to help.
Responders are calling it the deadliest storm outbreak in nearly 40 years.
Absolutely stunning. At 5 o'clock last night, lives for people in so many states changed instantly.
Nearly 24 hours ago, violent weather swept through the southern region of the United States, leaving millions without power and hundreds dead. The American Red Cross is extremely busy responding to tornadoes, flooding, and wildfires across more than half the U.S.
Here in Florida, we have Red Cross volunteers who have already departed, some on standby and some preparing to go into the disaster zone to make sure that the immediate needs of the folks who have been so devastated by this disaster are met, not just today, but tomorrow and beyond.
Alabama was the hardest hit. The American Red Cross immediately opened dozens of shelters. Emergency officials say more than 1,600 people spent last night in 65 shelters that were opened.
Across the nation, Red Cross volunteers are working to make sure all those impacted by disaster have a little bit of an opportunity to get out of the path of the devastation and get the support they need.
As neighborhoods start to clean up the damage, emergency leaders say more help is needed.
This isn't something that's going to be solved in a few hours. The Red Cross is prepared to make sure these folks have the disaster mental health support, the food, the clothing, and the shelter that they will need if their homes have been destroyed. It's going to be a long-term recovery.
Today, Red Cross officials and emergency workers continue to assess the damage. Additional volunteers from our area are preparing to go to the areas impacted by the storms. Local Red Cross leaders say donations are needed as they continue the response and recovery process. Ro Norman, WPTV News Channel 5.
All right, Ro, thank you. These deadly tornadoes have caused massive destruction and loss of life.
It is a scene of utter devastation. Where buildings and homes once stood, there is now only rubble and debris this evening. News Channel 5's Kelly Dunn continues our Team 5 coverage this evening. She's joining us from Studio B with a special 5 Cares Tornado Relief Phone Bank. We teamed up with the Red Cross to help out tornado victims. Kelly?
That's right, Shannon and Jay. And the devastation, I mean, all of us, I think, are just astounded by these pictures. And it seems like as you talk to people today, somebody knows somebody who either has a child at that school or, like you two, attended that school, or they know someone in that state. And, you know, when a disaster hits, it's the Red Cross. They're the first ones to rush in to help. Joining me now is Rob Levine. He's the CEO of the American Red Cross chapter in Palm Beach and the Treasure Coast. What is the first thing that's assessed and done when you go to a scene like Alabama today?
Well, first of all, our thoughts go out to everybody. Right. It's incomprehensible. And our volunteers are just neighbors. So they're arriving on the scene, first of all, making sure people have shelter, they have food, they have clothing, they have emotional support, and they can begin to rebuild their lives.
Right now, the phones, it's so wonderful to see. Everyone is busy. They've been ringing since we went on the air, and we'll have the phone banks through tonight. Where will this money, I mean, so all the people that are calling now, whether they donate $10 or $1, where does that money go?
The generosity is astounding. We can hear the phones. 91 cents of every dollar that's given to the American Red Cross goes directly into services. We hope people will give to the Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund because today we have Alabama and the Southeast. Remember, last week we had Oklahoma. We have floods in the Midwest, and every 27 hours right here in the Palm Beach and Treasure Coast, there's a house fire that we respond to. So, folks, give generously, confident that the American Red Cross will get those funds directly into the people who need them.
Well, and of course, we know it so well down here. Hurricane season begins at the beginning of June, so, you know,
that's right.
We always appreciate it when people are there to help Florida as well.
Well, our volunteers who are in Alabama will have folks from Alabama come hurricane season.
Rob Levine, thank you very much. And again, $1, $2, $10, $100. Any amount helps. The number 1-800-345-WPTV. Back to Jay and Shannon in the studio.
Kelly, thank you. Coming up at